Har-Ber prepared me for college because I was able just to take classes at an enhanced level, and it ultimately helped me understand how to study, how to manage my time, and how to be a better student. One of my favorite moments is that I was a tuba player for the Har-Ber High School band. I wanted to come back home because Northwest Arkansas has so much thriving opportunities here, and just the community has really impacted me. I'm Georgia Milham, and I'm a portrait of a Springdale graduate.
Hi, welcome to this episode of Springdale Today. I'm your host, Mary Jordan. Joining us on this session is Har-Ber High School Principal, Dr. Paul Griep, Har-Ber Communication Teacher, Lauren Loehndorf, and Har-Ber Senior and Speech Captain, Skylar Hart. The Arkansas Communication and Theater Arts Association has named Dr. Griep as the Administrator of the Year, and we're going to talk about his passion for the arts and how Har-Ber opens the door to creative opportunities for its students. The nonprofit's Administrator of the Year award is presented to administrators who have proven a commitment to promoting creative life and art skills for Arkansas students. Thank you for being with us today, everybody. Dr. Griep, we were talking a little bit before you came on about how much all of us love theater and drama and things of that nature. What was it like for you to win such an award?
Well, first of all, I was very surprised. I appreciate the recommendation and the nomination for the award. When I think about receiving this, I think about the great work that's being done every day in the classroom. Miss Loehndorf, Mr. Caudill, they work hard for our students. Our district is great to support the program as well. So, for me, I kind of view it in a humble way of just doing my job. And I certainly appreciate the recognition.
Do you have a personal background or experience in the arts or communication that it makes it mean a little bit more to you?
I think for me growing up, I graduated from Mountain Home in, small school. For me, I didn't, because my family moved a lot, I didn't get connected to a lot of things. But, I was able to appreciate programs like this and others that really connect students. When I left the classroom and I became an administrator, I worked for the Math and Science School where I was their public relations person, and I traveled the state. So I realized the importance of being able to speak publicly. And so, when I came to Har-Ber 7 years ago and I met Joelle Brown, the coach that was there at the time, I really became passionate about what it can do for our students. And so Miss Loehndorf and Mr. Caudill, in my mind, have just continued and taken it to the next level. And, and you'll notice just by visiting with Skylar a little bit today, how it can really make such a big impact with young people and can really prepare them for their future.
Well, I really thought it was interesting, too, about how they talk about debate, forensics, theater, and communications being essential life skills. Mm-hmm. What can you share with us about that?
Well, when you look at what businesses require of our kids, the ability to communicate clearly is important. And you look about how we're trying to prepare our young people, again, whether it be going into the business world or whether it be going into law or, just the ability to communicate clearly is just critical. So I've had the privilege of watching our students in action, and I just am blown away every time, whether it be, judging in a competition or just being able to just see what they do. It's just amazing to me. So I'm super proud of them.
Can you tell us about anything that you're specifically doing to help emphasize these areas for students?
I think one of my main jobs is just to try to remove barriers. I know that because these are also full-time students who are doing great things outside of our school building in the name of Har-Ber. What I try to do is work with our coaches to just see what the vision is, whether it be traveling to different states or just even in-state competitions. What can I do to empower them? Because I really believe that it trickles down and benefits our students. So that's really what I have a lot of pride in, is just how can I equip and empower them to do great work.
And that brings us to you, Lauren. So how have you been equipped, empowered? What does the communication program look like at Har-Ber?
Right. So I did not grow up with a background in speech and debate. I am really fortunate to have wonderful administrators who believed in me and put me in this position. I was originally hired at Central Junior High by Todd Lofton, and I had no idea what I was getting into, really. But through his support, I fell in love with speech and debate, and now I've joined the coaching staff at Har-Ber. It, to me, gives me so much joy to be able to take our students out of the classroom and give them experiences. Through the support of Dr. Griep and with Coach Cottle, who is my counterpart, he's actually our head coach. I'm really fortunate to be his assistant. I've learned so much from him. We get to take amazing, phenomenal kids in the classroom and show them that they have a future and speaking to people, that it's nothing to fear, it's part of life.
Very cool. And how many students are supported by the program?
We have around 100 students through 5 classes. I have 2 forensics classes, which is our competitive speech, and Coach Cottle has 3 debate classes, and they span debate and speech 1 through 4.
How have you seen the program really benefit from Dr. Griep's influence, things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise?
The most important thing Dr. Griep does is show up. He shows up to our tournaments. He asks us how it's going. He talks to our kids in the hallway. Showing up and being present goes so far in our world because it's really, really technical. We use a lot of technical language and that scares people off. We throw around terms like breaking in tournaments, which sounds bad but isn't. As you know, as a theater background, breaking a leg is a good thing. And so when we say like, hey, come judge a debate, people get scared away. They don't want to do it because they don't think they have the skill set. Dr. Griep has never thought that. He always shows up, even if he's not entirely sure.
Give me the easy ones, though, right? I'm just kidding.
Maybe. But you
but it's
show up.
It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And Skylar, what kind of classes are you involved in as a speech captain?
Yes, ma'am. I have my own class that I'm in personally. So it's Forensics 2, no, I'm in Forensics 3 this year. I'm so sorry. I am able to participate in that class and help others as captain, thankfully, as the position that I've earned this year, and work towards my own nationals and breaks and everything that I've worked for. But I also get to show up for the babies and help with the little forensics kids in level 1, and they are such a joy to be around. I love being able to help them as not only their captain but their peer, because they not only trust in me but they see me as somebody who they can look up to and relate to at the same time. And so being able to be within these 2 classes is a great opportunity.
Now, when you say babies, are we talking 9th graders?
No, ma'am. So they are 10th graders, some 11th graders, some seniors. They're really all over the place throughout the school, but it's just people who haven't experienced the class before, or people who have came from Central and competed with Miss Toko, the Central coach right now, and people who just don't have as much experience within the class or within the program, and people who might not compete as much but still love what they're doing.
And what are some of the things that you're getting to do as speech student captain within communications beyond simply just going to class?
Yes. So one of my favorite parts of the program I'm in is obviously traveling. Traveling has been a big part of me as a person, but being able to meet other people amongst states and just worldwide, it feels like, is a great opportunity, because as much as it makes me upset when I don't win, because I'm very competitive, it's a great opportunity. And being able to spend time with my team is also a great part, because we do take some time for team bonding while we're out, and it's a great opportunity to see others grow and be there for others as well.
Right. And you traveled to Chicago.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have another trip coming up where you guys are competing in New Orleans. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So there's a lot more to it than just standing up in front of folks.
Yes. We get to reach other people that aren't just at the tournament. And even if we aren't competing against somebody necessarily, we are still getting the encounters with these other people and being able to see how other people do what they love and be in the environment is amazing. And we all do it a little differently, as well as people who are coming from Arkansas versus people who may be in New Orleans or any place, and any people that we meet. And just being able to all be in one spot and share a hobby and share something that we love is a great opportunity, especially with our upcoming trip to New Orleans.
And how did you originally get involved with speech and debate forensics to begin with?
So, like many others, I thought it was forensics and
the science.
I was going to do crime scenes and be a crime solver. But even though that's not how it started, I still join Miss Loehndorf's class at Central Junior High. Knew her as Miss Fryer. Still call her that sometimes, but that's okay. And it was a great opportunity. I have grown with Miss Dorf as a coach for a while now, going on 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being able to grow with the team as a whole and join a very competitive team coming from Coach Brown, going to Coach Caudle and Coach Dorf has been an amazing opportunity because I've seen the circuit from every perspective. I've seen it as somebody who said she was quitting every 5 seconds to becoming the next captain, and just being able to see it from a relatable background has been a big part of being speech and debate captain and participating on the team as well.
Well, I actually had to look up to see if this was still true, but public speaking is still the number one fear for people. So if some things don't change, but other things do, right? Why do you suppose you're not intimidated by the experience?
Speech and debate has honestly given me a big platform to speak in front of people. As I loved talking to people way before that, it wasn't as structured as it is now. And it's not only helped me through competitions, but I also compete in the Miss America pageant organization. And so it's helped me beyond just speech and debate. And it's helped me for job interviews, preparing for college. It's just honestly given me the life skills to go out and show others not only who I am, but where I've come from and how I've grown.
And then, Lauren, you have had Skylar for a student for some time now. How have you seen her grow through this experience?
So Skylar is in a special class for me. This is my 4th year in the classroom, and Skylar was in my first group of students and my first group of speech and debate kids. So she was on my very first team. We actually have 3 students still on the team that began with me 4 years ago. I joke that we were all doing something together. We weren't always entirely sure what it was, but we were passionate about it. We were excited to be figuring it out together. And the first year, Skylar had a lot of potential. She has a natural charisma, she's funny, and she's confident. And I've seen that grow over time, especially her leadership skills. She started as a leader in our classroom to being a leader of a 100-person team who is giving thoughtful feedback. She's connecting with people and helping them find the resources that they need. I am so proud of this kid.
Dr. Griep, now, what can you say about how Skylar is living out what you hope students receive from this area of education?
Yeah, I mean, you just listen to Skylar for just a couple of minutes and you realize, wow, I mean, we have some young people that are so talented, and the sky is the limit. I mean, there's no doubt the confidence that you've received in part by this program will just continue to take you to the next level. And so I think for us, I mean, it's exciting as teachers and as principals to really watch where our young people go after they graduate and to feel like, you know what, maybe we had just a little bit of that success story. And I mean, that fills our cup every day of why we do what we do. Because again, I just think that these opportunities can provide such great opportunities for our young people to learn about themselves, gain that confidence, and just be launched into life.
Do you have any future hopes for the arts in this area, communications and such for the school? Any next steps you'd like to see happen?
Well, I mean, it's been fun to watch it grow over the years. Again, we've got great leaders and Miss Loehndorf and Mr. Caudle. I think for us, the challenge is just simply to educate the younger students at our junior highs and even younger than that, to, again, like you said, the fear of public speaking is real. And so how can we educate them about this to help them realize, wow, this can actually be a lot of fun. I remember growing up as a kid, my grandparents used to say, you know what, you should find a debate team because you really like to argue. But it's way more than that. I mean, there's just such a gift that goes into this. And so I just think it's educating students about what this can be for them. And again, I think that's just one reason why Springdale is so special.
And what about what's coming up for the debate program, communications? What do you guys have coming up this year for school to look forward to?
Well, we're really busy. We're hitting our stride. We're going to New Orleans on Thursday. The bus rolls at 4 a.m. That scares some people, but we sleep for the first couple hours, right, Skylar? We have imposed quiet time so the coaches can get their beauty rest for the first couple hours on the bus. We'll compete in New Orleans. We come back for Christmas break. We'll get a little respite, relax a little bit, and then we hit the ground running. In January, we have our district tournament to try and get bids for our debate kids to go to the national tournament. We've got 3 in-state tournaments. We'll host our own. We host the second largest tournament of the season in Arkansas. We'll have roughly 300 people coming to Har-Ber the second weekend of February, where we get to turn on and show our hospitality skills. I love showing off our building with the rotunda. We have a beautiful award ceremony at the end in the rotunda. It's gorgeous. And that's a lot of people's favorite part, is where we host our awards. And then we'll have forensics districts where our forensics students will seek their bids for the National Speech and Debate Association tournament in June. And we've got just a couple more tournaments after that, and then we'll start looking to next year. We'll plan our senior banquet, we'll have our final team events, we'll send off our seniors in style and let them know how much we appreciate and love them. And then it's time to start over, and we begin with a brand new team.
What does that mean where they're trying to gain bids?
So we compete on 2 national circuits. There's the University of Kentucky's Tournament of Champions and then the National Speech and Debate Association. We try to go to both. We've had students for the last 5 years qualify. Some students have even placed. Last year, we had a student win 12th in the nation in original oratory at National Speech and Debate. But you have to win bids to get there. So you have to go to tournaments, you have to compete, you have to place well to get your bids to be able to go to these very big, exclusive national tournaments.
And Skylar, you are going to New Orleans, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to be competing in there while you're in the city?
3 different events. So I will be in dramatic interpretation, duo interpretation, and impromptu speaking. Dramatic and duo are very similar for me, just because I am doing dramatic pieces for both events. That's just how I perform better. It's how I can reach others. I love sharing stories and being able to connect to the audience through pieces that are meaningful. And then impromptu speaking is more on the spot. And so I get a topic, I get to perform in front of people, share about what I know, go beyond further than what the topic is given to me as is, and honestly just improve my public speaking as I go. And so I'm very hopeful for national bids this weekend because that is a great dream. Last year I placed 3rd in both of my events. I did info and duo as well. And so just being able to have this opportunity again is a great mindset for what is to come. Very nerve-wracking, very stressed out, but that's okay.
Lauren, what kind of topics might they be asked to speak on unplanned, where she has this kind of like impromptu response?
So we have 2 different styles of impromptu speaking. There's impromptu, which Skylar does. It could be anything. It could be the tagline for Maytag dryers, like their company slogan, or it could be something as silly as milk. And she has 7 minutes from start to finish to plan and deliver, with no research, a speech that leaves the audience thinking about that in a deeper way. And then there's also extemp speaking, which they have 30 minutes to prepare in advance. And those are political topics that focus on politics. So they're things like the nuclear arms deal with Iran, or what is happening right now in Lebanon. Same skill set, 2 different ways to experience that. And we have students who love both.
Completely broad, right?
Absolutely.
And there's that knowledge of current events, but then also just why you're really passionate about milk.
Right. You have to engage your rhetorical appeals, use some credibility with your audience to help get your point across.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Skylar, what are your plans following high school? Have you thought about that at all yet?
Yes, ma'am. So there are a couple colleges I've looked at. I was just recently accepted into the U of A medical program, though. Ooh. So that is a very big accomplishment. I've heard from all over that is not easy to get into. And so I'm very thankful for that. That will not only lead me to hopefully be a travel nurse in the future, but share my public speaking skills and help people through the medical field, which I have personally been throughout for a long point in my life. So correlating everything together is going to be very hard, but very worth it. And I hope to not only achieve these goals, but thrive in them. And so that'll be a great thing to experience.
Do you think that your experience within, the speech program has helped you to build confidence at all going into, a travel nurse, that's a lot of change all the time.
Yes, ma'am. So being able to travel throughout my lifetime has been very applicable to this circumstance. But speech and debate has not only brought a different perspective to the table for this, but it allowed me to apply for travel nurse in the beginning. And to start with, I know I talked with Coach Dorf about public communications and going in that field, but just bringing it all together while using the public speaking skills I've earned with speech and debate has just honestly funneled all in one and has been a great opportunity.
Well, and then Dr. Griep and Lauren, how was what she just shared with you a good indicator for the value of this type of education for students?
Well, I think it's a beautiful example that speech and debate is not just for those who are interested in law and politics. You can apply the skills that I teach in my classroom to any job, whether it be education, where I talk to rooms full of teenagers and have to clearly articulate the lesson every day, or to Dr. Griep, who has to do so for our parents, to nurses who have to be able to communicate clearly on their feet under pressure. We teach broad life skills that everybody needs experience in.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And again, I appreciate the work that our teachers do. There's a lot of time that goes into this. You think about the travel, you think about the preparation, you think about the coaching that happens, with each of our students. It's not easy. And, I think about our Har-Ber students and just the reputation that we have in the state as being, one of the top 1 or 2 programs. That doesn't happen by accident. So for me, I'm thankful to be part of this and just be able to give students like Skylar and others just an opportunity to shine. Because again, it's such a great investment to just see where it can take them in life.
We're very grateful for everything you guys are doing within our schools as well. And to that end, is there anything I'm not considering that's a part of this conversation that you'd like to make sure that I share or that we discuss?
Well, I will say if anyone out there is interested in joining Har-Ber Speech and Debate or a speech and debate team in general, they can find my contact on our website and email me. My name's Lauren Loehndorf. You can look me up and email me, and I will get you connected. Whether you're a student in Springdale or a student outside of Springdale, I can probably find a coach or a team for you to join if you want to get involved in this activity. And parents, I know it's scary for kids, but please encourage them to take that class, to take that chance, to take that step to further their skills, because it will pay off.
Great.
And if you are a student, don't be scared. It was a lot to start with. It still is a lot, but it's a great opportunity. It's prepared me for after high school, after college, for my future in general, and for what I'm doing as a high school student. It's given me a great opportunity to be with my coaches and my teachers and just see everything from a different perspective with my peers and how I handle myself under pressure as well. So this program brings a lot, and I'm very thankful for it.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you all for being here and sharing this with us today, making me a little bit smarter on all things communications within the district and Har-Ber. We look forward to talking to you again and seeing what happens with you in the future.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for Springdale Today. We look forward to talking to you in the future about what's happening in Springdale today.
Springdale Today is a production of Springdale Public Schools Communication Office.
The podcast is hosted by Mary Jordan and is produced and edited by Micah DeLacy.
Be sure to subscribe to Springdale Today for free on your favorite podcast platform.
And don't forget to follow Springdale Today on social media for episode updates and behind-the-scenes conversations.
Thank you for listening. We hope you'll join us in the future
as we continue to learn about the amazing stories happening in Springdale today.